Hi, how are we doing? Okay, today what I'm going to do is show you the fundamentals of Pilates. Just move my mat forward a bit. Now, I've stopped putting my messages, my vlogs on Facebook because I'm aware that there's many people that try the exercises but haven't actually learned the fundamentals of Pilates, which is incredibly important. And if we're going to be doing Pilates without injuring yourselves, you need to know the fundamentals. Now there's 4 different positions that we get ourselves in: standing Pilates, on all fours, lying on our fronts in the prone position, and lying on our backs in the supine position. And whilst we're doing exercises in each of those positions, you need to have adjusted yourselves into the neutral spine. So I'm going to run through these fairly quickly with you, and if you're a beginner to Pilates, run through this video 2 or 3 times until you actually understand what I'm saying, so that when you watch the videos or any other videos you might find online, you actually understand what neutral position is whilst you're performing the exercises, and then you've got much less risk of injuring yourself, because although the exercises might look easy, they're very technical and they're working the muscles from the inside out. And it is easy to injure yourself if you're doing it wrong. Okay, so we're going to start with the standing position. I'll probably turn around and show you from this way and from the side. But to find neutral in this position, and neutral is the position that corrects our spines. So many people come to my classes, they're generally a little bit too much like this, with rounded shoulders, where we're all on phones and desks and children, and just everything in life is bringing us forward. So neutral is where we want to correct it. Some people come to me and they are too lordotic. Okay, it might look very nice, but you're pushing your tummy forward, you've got an arch in your lower back, and it's going to cause you problems. So for that, we'd have to correct it. And then you get what we call the teenager slump, where you walk around like that. So that's not great either. So neutral is the position that corrects your spine and over time, any imbalances. So to find that, it's feet hip width apart, and hip width being from the bones here, not your width here. So feet hip width apart, spread your toes out, and then lengthen up. So imagine you're being pulled up by a piece of string, shoulders roll back and down, and then to find the position with your pelvis, I'll turn to the side slightly, you tilt that pelvis forward and back, so give it a good few rocks, loosening up the hip flexors here, and then you find the middle of those 2 extremes. So not forward, not back, tuck under a bit for the middle, and that puts you in the right position. And then we've got to brace our muscles to the spine. So we're going to take a lateral breath, expanding the ribs out this way, not our abdomen forward. And as you exhale, you draw all of your muscles towards your spine. Again, from the side, easy to see. Take a breath, lateral breath, and as you exhale, draw your muscles in towards the spine, and then you pinch the pelvic floor, connecting everything up. And the pelvic floor is the muscle that stops the flow if you're having a pee. It always makes people laugh, but that is that's the pelvic floor. Now, you could practice this in the bathroom, but it's not good to do it often, just so that you get the feel of what that muscle is. Don't then carry on doing that as an exercise, it's not good to do that. But just so you get the feel of what that muscle is. Okay, so I'll just show you one more time the bracing, because it's not like this. You don't draw your muscles in towards your spine by doing this, okay, because you're lifting your chest. You want to draw them in without lifting the chest, and it's basically all the muscles from under the chest, draw them in and back towards the spine, right down here in the tummy, and then you hold the position. And then from there you might find we're doing lots of exercises, and that's the position you'll hold yourself in. So that's the first one. Then we're going to get down onto the mat, and I'll show you the position on all fours, or 4 points as some people call it. So neutral spine here is with a flat back. So it's not with a hollow, it's not with an arch. So to teach people this, I'd get them to do a hollow, then an arch, then a hollow, then an arch, and then you find the middle of the 2 extremes again. Then you brace the core to the spine, so draw those muscles in, brace them, pinch the pelvic floor, and you're good to go. Okay, so from here we might do this type of exercise, and you can see I'm not arching my back. This would be wrong. Okay, that would be completely wrong. You're putting pressure on your spine. So you find your neutral, draw yourself in. Hands, by the way, are under the shoulders. Don't shorten yourself. I'm often having to lengthen people's spines by moving their hands forward a bit, brace the muscles, and then you can perform exercises. And for example, press ups like this, in this position. Excellent. Then we're going to go down into the prone position. Face down on the mat. Now there's not really a lot to say here because you're lying face down, but the position you want when we're doing any exercises is to make sure your core is braced to the spine. So let's say, for example, we're doing this exercise, lifting one arm and the opposite leg. You will always make sure as you lift that you brace the core and pinch the pelvic floor. If you're not bracing it, you're putting all the pressure on your lower back rather than strengthening it. So that's the main thing there. And then the final position to learn is on your back, in the supine position. So when I teach people this, what I do here is feet are under knees, and then you roll your pelvis, tilt your pelvis so your lower back is on the mat. Then you make a lovely arch, so it's as big as you can get, then down again, then arch again, and you just go through the two extremes, and then you find the middle of those two extremes, and that will flatten out your spine into the neutral position. So you should have a little gap underneath you, so it's not imprinted where your lower back is imprinted. You will have a little gap underneath you, and the pubic bone will be flat. So if you make a diamond shape, pop it on the pubic bone, glance up, you will see that that area is flat. If you glance up and it's like this, you'll think, oh, and then you'll tilt your pelvis away, so it's flat. And from there, we can perform various exercises. So the knee rolls or hip rolls, or then you could do a tabletop. You will stay in that position. And that's it. Lovely. So it's really important for beginners to learn those positions, or anyone you don't just see these videos online and just drop to the floor and practice them. You must learn these positioning. So good luck with that. Bye.